Buenas.
Buenas, Daniel, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú qué tal? ¿Cómo estás?
Aquí andamos, güey, disfrutando de la buena vida, güey. ¿Qué quieres que te diga, güey?
Disfrutando de la buena vida. Cago en la puta. ¿Sabes que España va 3-3 ahora mismo? En la
Ya,
Euro. Es que,
es que solamente tú pensabas que iba a suceder algo fuera de lo
no,
esperado.
es que he ido a hacer unos recados antes y cuando iba perdiendo 1-0 he dicho, seguro que pierde España, ¿sabes? Luego se ha puesto 1-3 y he dicho, no puede ser, o sea, va a pasar. Y de golpe porrazo lo de siempre, o sea, es que no.
Suele suceder, suele suceder. Buenas, Rosa, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, hola, hola Daniel, hola Claudio, ¿cómo
Hola,
están?
Rosa.
Mucho gusto.
Aquí andamos.
Igualmente. ¿Qué hora es por allí, por México ahora?
Aquí son la 1 de la tarde.
Prontito, prontito. Yo ahora mismo estaría
Sí,
de
sí, sí.
cervecitas, ¿eh? O sea, quiero decir, no estoy por coger una cervecita. Lo que pasa es que era un poco feo en un meeting. No sé quién lo dará. ¿Lo das tú, Claudio?
No, Sheriff, este lo da uno de los core devs
Ah,
sí.
entonces queda feo.
Entonces,
Sí,
sí,
si fuera-
no, y no pasa nada, no pasa nada. Si quieres dar una cerveza, estás en horario, estás en horario. Igual que Sheriff, Sheriff está 1 hora adelante que tú. Para
vale.
él son las 9 de la noche. Entonces, pero bueno. Buenas, Cintia.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Hola.
A ver si ahorita entra ya Sheriff. Entonces ya me contestó.
Voy a quitarme el vídeo, así, si no, soy muy feo yo para esto.
Vale. Buenas, Alan.
Hey, everybody.
¿Qué onda, Chloe?
Aquí andamos. Oh, sí, entiendo. Hey, Sheriff. Good evening over there.
Hey, hey.
Hi.
Buenas, Daniela. ¿Cómo estás?
Hola, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. Sheriff, do you want to send a kind of like an email reminder? Did you send an email reminder to everybody? I think that's the way to go. We can go for a few more minutes and not then, yeah, I'll send some invite, copy invitation, and I'll ping some of the other members.
I'm sending a reminder to my people too.
Creo que muchos están en el de Google Meet. Si no me meto y les digo que se vengan acá, ¿no?
Who else was it? I'll send an email with the hola as well, and just so we hit him through everything.
Yes, it happened. The Google Meet stuff of somebody's confused the link.
Ah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. Yeah, there are some 4 people over the Google Meet link.
Okay. Okay, I also sent an invite right now. Okay, perfect. Okay, they're coming, they're coming. Okay, there you go. There you go. Slowly but surely, slowly but surely. Okay, vale. Okay, there you go. I think Alfonso's already here. Alfonso, is it here? Daniel, oh yeah, okay, Alfonso, perfect. Susana, I think. Daniel, ¿le puedes dar un toque ahí a Susana a ver si...
Sí,
si
no,
va a
es que
venir?
estaba hablando ahora mismo y tiene un pollo no del curro.
Ok, vale. Bueno, es que ya después nos ponemos ahí al tiro con ella entonces. Vale. Okay, so Susana's gonna be doing some work stuff. So anywho, I think that's about it. Susana, Alfonso. Okay. Email Miguel, Viviana, Johnny, Rafa. I don't know. Yeah, the Saturday guys from.
I've been on mute this whole time. I've been sharing with you that I'm over in the Google Meet, directing people over here,
Okay.
but you didn't hear maybe. So
Okay, all good.
yeah.
All good. There's a couple of us here, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, some people missing from Venezuela, but I
Sure.
reckon Rosa Maria, you're just taking the course, correct? Is anybody from your team gonna be joining us?
Yeah, yes, Claudio.
You want to send them the? Let me send you. Let me send you a direct message with the link, or you can copy it from this room as well. I'm sending it over in Slack. Sorry, in Slack, in Telegram. Here, there you go. I've sent you the link. You can share with them. Then all good. Okay. Sharif, yeah. So it's 1:10. So I think yeah, we should get started.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. Let me just update these slides with the time really quick. And I think we're good to go. Some of this, I think we can update now. There's a few pieces here. Also at the end, we want to figure out how to form groups. I think will be a good idea. Okay. Let's see this here. And copy. Okay, I think this will be all right. And Jose Canales is the only one who's still in the Meet, the Google Meet. Nice. Okay, I'll hang up this one then. Okay. So that way we can just stay here. All right. And here's the slides I'm going to move through. Just in case anybody wants to see this on their own computer. All right. And I think, how many people do we have here? It's 15 people in the room. I think maybe the first thing we can do is just turn our cameras on so that I'm not just talking to a wall of icons and names and stuff like that. So if you are not wearing your home clothes in a way that would feel uncomfortable, please turn on your cameras so we can get everybody's face. If there's any way you can share your camera, it makes it easier to connect. We have 45 minutes left in this session. So I think, I can show you some slides, but maybe I can start by just asking if you have read the beginning materials and seen the kickoff videos, if you could just put your thumbs up icon like that, a little reaction. I don't know if you see that in the corner of my video. There's a little button at the bottom that says reaction. And you can just sort of click it. It'll pop up quickly. And that way we'll see who's actually seen the kickoff slide. So there's a little reaction button. You can pick the thumbs up. And then I'll get a sense of who's actually seen that so that we don't spend time on stuff that you've already seen. You have to forgive me, my Spanish is not strong enough to be able to present in any meaningful way in Spanish. I can barely keep up with you if you start speaking in Spanish, but please do. So just a thumbs up reaction, please, if you've seen the kickoff slides, because what we'll be covering today is basically a repeat of that. Okay, so it seems like maybe half the group, a little bit less than half the group has seen it, okay? So I think to make the best use of this time, we can really take a look at the course content and see what that looks like and decide together if we have any questions or concerns about that. And then Claudio, did we agree that we're going to direct people to the typical NCD server? I think that's the best move. Or is it going to be to the NEAR Hispano server for support there?
Yeah, for now we're gonna do the NCD. So that way we're keeping it as planned. And then once we finish the bootcamp, we'll move over to the NEAR Hispano one, just to keep no distractions at the moment, because we're gonna be quite pushing some new stuff over there in the NEAR Hispano Discord server. So want to keep it distractions to a minimum.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. So here is the link to that server. There's 500 people there that have taken this course or signed up for it or looked at the content or inside the NEAR community that can help you. And so if you go in there, you'll find everything you need. Please let me know if you have a problem getting in there. And it's basically step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 is a demo. So step 1 you finished. Today you can think of as a step 2. And so this is where we'll be coordinating our work. And then we'll have groups that are meeting, and these groups we can set up right in here as like groups where your channel is going to meet. In fact, let me do that now. So let me do, maybe I can create a category for NCD L1 NEAR Hispano, or actually, why don't we do the date is better, 2020, January, February, March, April, May, June 6, 28, I think it is, right? And then here we can have multiple channels like small group A, and we can figure out these channels during the call if you like. Okay, so host disabled participant sharing. So why is that? Because I'm not logged in as me, maybe.
Yeah, with your NEAR.org account.
Yeah. Here I can sign in. Okay. That's better. So if you can see my screen, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
I don't know why I can't. Here we go. So you should be able to log in and actually land in this this general page here. Maybe you're logging in now, actually. And then down here, you'll find this NCD L1 2021-628, small group A. And so we're going to break up into a series of groups today. And these groups will be the way that you organize the time that you spend this week, okay? All right. So in terms of the content and the program, it depends on how much time you have for this, but this course is, and I'm looking here, I imagine you have this already. This course is pretty intense, actually. And I'll draw your attention to this section here. So if you're like a junior software developer, you're going to spend several hours per day learning this material. And if you only spend like 30 minutes or 1 hour, it's going to be very difficult to keep up. Somebody who is a senior software developer with maybe 3 to 5 years of experience can finish the course comfortably in like 2 hours a day. No problem. But you need to prepare yourself for this kind of investment of time. Otherwise, this week is just going to be a little bit frustrating for you. So just so you are not surprised, like what I'm not going to do is just like entertain you during the week. That's not what this course is about. I'm not going to like show you a bunch of presentations and point at things, and I'm not going to do that. That's not what this course is about. This course is going to require you to come with your attention and do the reading and the exercise, and then ask for help and questions when you have them. And this is a little bit surprising, I think, for some people, because they're expecting to be kind of like entertained. It's normal because everything around us is entertainment, Netflix and Udemy and YouTube and stuff, but that's not what's happening this week. So please don't be surprised by that. Please don't be disappointed by that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be entertaining you this week. But we agree to meet 5 times. So every day at the same time. In fact, 60 minutes every day. This is the schedule that we'll keep here. So 1 hour every day for 5 days. And I'll be here. If you want to show up, that's okay. If you don't have to come, the middle days are optional. Today is required and Friday is required. On Friday, we're going to be doing demonstrations. Okay. And if you're wondering what is a demonstration, you can look in this this organization here, learn NEAR. So I can send you this. This link where you will find 40 repositories. 5 or 6 I made, and the rest are student demos. So like 25, 30 student demos here. And if you search for NCD, you'll find here 25 student demos here. So this is, from cohort number 8, right? Number 7, number 6, and so on. So these are all student demos. If you want to know what will I do by Friday, this is what you will do by Friday. You will make one of these with your group. Okay, so that's the basic agreement this week, is that we meet every day for 1 hour, and by Friday you make a demo that looks like these demos in here. All right, that's the most important thing about today that I can share with you. So in terms of the slides that I have, you've seen a lot of this stuff. I'm recommending that you don't worry about the details of consensus and blockchain and sharding, and forget about all that stuff. Just drive the car this week. Learn to drive. Next week, you can think about consensus and sharding and scalability and all that stuff. So don't worry about any of this stuff. The details of how NEAR works. Just forget about it this week and just focus on building things. So don't wait till you understand everything. Just work on making something. Forget about consensus and economics. Just study the working examples. Don't try and learn Rust this week. You're not going to be able to learn Rust in 1 week unless you have several years programming C and C++. You're not going to be able to do it in 1 week. Doesn't matter how long you've been programming. You're not going to be able to do it in 1 week. But you can learn assembly script and build contracts and learn a lot about NEAR actually in 1 week, no problem. And don't add any front-end code. Just focus on the contract code. So we're going to do testnet, maybe localnet if you want to set it up, contract literacy, how do you read and write contracts, NFTs and fungible tokens, we can talk about that, NEAR core contracts, we could talk about that, cross-contract calls, but we're not going to talk about mainnet, contract security, token economics, you know, can I port Uniswap to NEAR, sharded compute and storage? We're not going to talk about any of that stuff. Maybe next week or next month we can talk about that stuff. So just the basics. We're going to meet every day for an hour, like I said. This is what you're going to produce. This is a demo project. It looks something like this. Contracts, unit tests, simulation tests, mock-ups, documentation. And again, there's like 25 examples from students from the last several weeks or last several months. And this is L1. And then if you want, I can do also 60 to 90 minute coding interview with you. Or maybe Claudio or someone on his team can do it with you to verify that you've learned what you need to learn this week. And then you get an extra like L1V, which is verified. Someone actually interviewed you to confirm that you actually did the learning. You didn't just participate in the class, but you actually are able to pass a technical interview. That's important. And then later we will have L2 and L3 certifications as well. And here are some other things you can work on, you know, NEAR Academy and Figment Learn Pathway. We have a bounties program and a grants program and Open Web Collective where we're giving out lots of money to people who want to build applications and systems. And so in general, I'm asking you this week, just keep asking for help. Don't stop. Like, don't be ashamed of asking. What's going on? I don't know what's going on. Just ask. You know, what's a contract exactly? I don't know. Just ask. And everybody around you is going to try their best to help you sustainably without burning out. We're not going to stay up 24 hours a day. Like, don't worry. Just ask. You ask what you need to ask, and we will give you as much as we can give you. Okay? So any questions about that? It's pretty simple, actually, how this works. So here is the work, the assignments. You should have read this already, this content. You should have seen all of this. If you haven't read this, you're missing out on a lot of nice stuff that's going to explain what's going on for you. It's all English resources, but it's the best that we have. So here, and maybe some people here will be creating more for you. Like I know Jose Canales is with us on the call, and he's been making some great videos in Spanish, which maybe he can share in the channel with us until we get that site up. You'll find something like this that explains like the whole platform in one page. Right? So that's what this is about. And here's a nice course actually on token economics, if you've ever wondered. Like all the things that you could possibly wonder about token economics is in this course. You know, 4 hours of content or something is quite nice. All right. Nice article here about like Bitcoin is time. If you haven't thought about it, that's kind of a trip. So that's already done, should have been done. If it's not, then you're a little bit late on doing it. And then day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5. So day 1 is basically just reading a ton of contracts. And you have the advantage that you have 25 other student projects also to read on top of this material. So just read as much of this as you can. You can see here, a bunch of steps. And then here, minimum of 3, but you should really read as many of these as you can. Like if you can read every single one, you should do it if you have the time. More is better reading. You can see there's maybe 10 or 15 here, plus the 25 that the other students made before you. So the idea here is like anything, like if you want to learn how to play music, you're not going to listen to just one song and then you play jazz. That's ridiculous. If you want to cook, you're not just going to eat like one hamburger and then you know how to cook. That doesn't make any sense at all. Or if you're going to learn to speak a language, you're going to like listen to one sentence and then you start talking. So you need to read all of this as much as you can, actually, like today, tomorrow. That's step number one. That's assembly script. Again, if you're not an experienced C++ or C programmer with several years of experience, then Rust is not going to be something that you can learn in 1 week. It's going to be too complicated for you. And if you're not a,
I have a question. There is enough information for finishing the bootcamp with the Rust?
Sorry, say that again. There is
enough information for finishing the bootcamp with the Rust, the smart contracts made in Rust?
Of course, if you want to, yeah. But I wouldn't try learning Rust this week.
Yeah, it seems something hard to learn.
It's not realistic. It's just not realistic. It's not like other I mean, I've been programming for a while. I know a lot of people who've tried to learn Rust, and the fastest I've seen anybody learn Rust is like maybe 3 months, 4 months. Like it's not so easy. If you already know C and C++ and you've been programming in C, for example, basically Rust is like, kind of making explicit what's happening in terms of C, memory allocation, deallocation, pointer references, all of that kind of stuff. Instead of doing it in your mind, you're actually doing it in the code, like very explicitly saying this variable now owns this reference, now it doesn't. So actually the code is doing it for you, and then the compiler checks it for you. But if you're not used to thinking like that, like you're not going to learn it in a week. So if you know Rust, go for it. Yeah, all the materials are here for sure. And several people have written contracts in Rust that already know Rust for sure. No problem. You can do it. But don't try learning Rust this week. Don't do that.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Okay, so how many people left on the call? It seems, okay, 16 people. Maybe we lost a couple of people. So just a quick show of hands with the reactions, please. Just like if you can show me I don't know who here is a software developer, and sort of everything I'm saying is like very comfortable now. Maybe you can put a little heart there for me. If you're a software developer and all this so far is like, yeah, no problem, I got it, I'm ready, let's go. Okay, so about half the group. Okay, that's good. And then another reaction, please, maybe like you're not a software developer, but you're ready to like try this anyway and see what happens. Give me a little party symbol, like no problem at all. You're going to figure it out. You're going to ask some questions. Okay, so a few people. And then anything else, if you like, maybe a crying face or something, if you don't know, like what's, you're like, what's even going on here right now? Maybe this one or something like that. If you're just like, forget it, I don't even know what's going on right now. What does this mean? I think I'm in the wrong meeting. Okay, all right. So look, this is so important. Maybe you were a little bit worried because we didn't start on time and I wasn't rushing. Like the only thing that matters, let me talk to the camera here because you're all here on this screen. The only thing that matters, I really want you to hear me. The only thing that matters this week is that we spend time together on this work. Nothing else matters. We're going to get to know each other. We're going to get to know NEAR. We're going to ask questions. We're going to listen to the answers. We're going to look at code. We're going to get confused. We're going to recover. Maybe we're going to build something cool, but we're together. That's the only thing that matters. Everything else is noise. So don't worry if it's too easy. Just go find someone who needs help. Don't worry if it's too hard. Like go find someone who can help you. Don't worry if you're confused. Just ask a question. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to spend a week together and it's going to be amazing. And by the end of the week, for sure, you're going to get out what you put in. So if you have more time, you want to lean into this, then lean into it. There's plenty here. There's more than a month of work here in this course, but we put it into a week, just so you know. There's a lot of work here. So whatever you put in, you'll get out of it, okay? And just hopefully you have fun with it. Don't worry. Okay? All right, cool. Any questions? Let's spend a little bit of time just talking. Any questions about what to do and how this works?
I have a question. Well, I saw that now that you are in NEAR, you can use Solidity. I mean, like with Aurora. Can we do the our stuff in Solidity instead of Rust and AssemblyScript, or just have to go with assembly? I don't know.
It's up to you. Okay, bottom line is it's up to you. Of course, this is a big benefit to working on NEAR, is that you can use Ethereum technology, write Solidity contract, and deploy it on the Ethereum virtual machine, which is running as a contract on NEAR, and then you interact with it. You can do that.
Okay.
You're not going to learn anything about how NEAR expresses contracts, but you will learn about the account system, the API, and the EVM implementation on NEAR, which feels a lot like the Ethereum implementation. It's the same API. So you will learn how to reduce costs of running the smart contract, how to deploy on NEAR. Like you will learn a bunch of stuff, but if someone says, can you build this on NEAR? You won't be able to quickly move over there and build it on NEAR, you know?
Okay,
because
cool.
it's a different way of thinking about contracts. The account model, cross contract calls is different. There's a handful of things. The way transactions are structured, the way contracts are deployed, the whole deployment model is different. So I would recommend save Aurora for next week.
Okay.
And struggle with us this week. Yeah. Just like everybody else.
Then I will go with AssemblyScript, I think. Right?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, if you're a developer who's familiar with Solidity, probably AssemblyScript will be clear in like 1 hour. If you just look at like 5 or 10 of those examples in the Learn NEAR repo, as many as you can, look at the source code. It ends in .ts, but it's AssemblyScript, even though it ends in a TypeScript ending. You'll find the code is very easy like that. Less than 1 or 2 hours, it'll be very clear for you. So no worries. Any other questions? Any other comments? Anything else we want to discuss? So just to share here with you, there's recordings of the kickoff, several different recordings here. And there's actually a playlist. I should add that. So all of these videos are here in this playlist. Let me just add that to this document right now. And so you can watch the presentations that we've done before at 2x. There's maybe like 3 hours of presentations there. Okay, so you should see that link now there. And then there's some questions here, a bunch of links down here to other contracts, and like a bigger FAQ. If you want to dig into some other questions here that people have asked in the past. How does this work? How does the certification work? What's some basic stuff about NEAR protocol? Right? So all this is also here. Okay. Any other questions? Anything else we should discuss? Again, please forgive me if this is a big disappointment. You were expecting an entertaining 1 hour show of learning today, but I'm just here to tell you there's a bunch of work over there. Go do it. Sorry, that's the reality. That's how real life works.
No,
But
all good.
I'm here to help.
All good. Aquellos que tengan preguntas y estén un poco nerviosos o nerviosas de cómo es su inglés y toda esta onda, no se preocupen, ¿no? O sea, hagan la pregunta en español y con gusto ahorita se la traducimos a Cherif, ¿no? Entonces, queremos que esto, tenemos que ponernos un poquito en contexto, ¿no? El bootcamp está hecho específicamente para ustedes. O sea, si ven ahorita no hay nadie que no forme parte de la comunidad de NEAR Hispano, ¿no? Entonces, Cherif se está tomando tiempo de su agenda para justamente dar este bootcamp. Se pone a disposición de todos nosotros, de todos ustedes más bien, ¿no? Yo soy, ¿cómo se llama? Yo tengo que poner esta reacción, ¿no? Realmente. Yo ni puta idea aquí cómo vas a hacer, pero bueno, lo voy a intentar. Y estamos aquí, ¿no? Estamos aquí para apoyarlos. En este caso, yo estoy aquí para facilitar, ¿no? Cualquier duda que tengan, adelante, ¿no? Entonces, no sé si alguien, por el tema del inglés, no quiere preguntar nada, pero yo lo que les invito es a que pregunten en español y yo ahorita le traduzco rápidamente a Cherif. Voy a estar en todas las llamadas durante esta semana para justamente facilitar cualquier tema que tengan, ¿no? Entonces, preguntas, comentarios.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I'm not a proud man, even though I followed what Claudio is talking about. Maybe I'll understand what you're saying in Spanish. Like, don't worry about the language. Most of the time, we don't want to embarrass ourselves with like a question that's not like so impressive or too basic or something. Like, whether you ask it in English or Spanish, everybody hesitates to ask questions. It's quite normal. So just feel comfortable.
Maybe if I can ask just for reinforcement, some skills require some pre-knowledge require. I saw in the docs that you sent that basic JavaScript, basic terminal control, basic JIT. Something else that we should know or maybe give a learn in this. Give a small reading in this week. There is something that we should attend.
The biggest problem people have is on a Windows computer using Git and Node and these technologies. So if you have a Windows computer and you are not sure if you can use Git or Node or something, you should immediately try and solve this problem today. Like before you end your day today, you should figure out how to solve that. And I think you need to install or set up something on Windows called WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux, version 2 if you don't have it. This is like some clicks on Windows machine. You should ask a developer. Don't just start doing it because you're going to have to restart your machine a couple of times and like give in passwords and do some developer configuration. So it's not like a fast thing that you do. Maybe takes half hour, an hour or something. And then you have to set up Git and Node and a bunch of other things locally. On Ubuntu or whatever the operating system that will be running. So if you have a Windows machine and you're not a developer, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you. That's the biggest challenge that people have normally. But if there's any developers with a Windows machine, they can help you very easily because it's quite a common problem. So all the developers that have Windows machine have solved it, no problem. So that's the biggest one. And then the other biggest one is if you already have solved this problem and maybe you have a Mac machine or Windows with this already set up, and you haven't used Git or Node programming, or you're not a developer, then the best thing you can do this week is to get together with a team and talk about the process with them and do research and reading and look at the videos from the day 0 that I showed these, token economics, and sort of spend the week not programming, but spend the week learning about this business and how blockchain works, because there's some amazing material there, maybe 20 hours worth of content in this day zero prep work that will be useful for you. Even as a non-technical person, you can just go through this content. It's amazing, mind-blowing what's happening right now with this stuff. Never before have we seen a technology which has this basic layer of truth where you can put things like identity and money and so on. Normally we give this stuff to banks or governments or police or military, and we say, please help us. We need help to organize these things. Now the software is organizing it. So the world is about to change. If I came to you 25 years ago with my mobile phone and said, look at this thing that I'm using every day, can you imagine this glass thing 25 years ago, what you would have said? What is that? What do you mean? What do? You talk on video? I don't just talk on video. I have 17 choices to talk on video for free around the world. You know what I mean? So that's what's about to happen, but with money, identity, ownership, all that stuff. So if you haven't sort of thought about that stuff, there's a lot of material here, even if you're not a developer, that's really amazing. Any other questions? Anything else we want to talk about in Spanish or English or however you want to ask? No problem. You can try me. You can test my Spanish. Let's see if I can keep up. I'm ready.
Claudio, yo tengo una pregunta para tenerlo completamente claro respecto al curso y prefiero preguntar en español. Se me hace más fácil entender a Sheriff todo en inglés, pero a preguntar me siento más cómoda en español. Así que es sobre el curso. En el step de la semana estamos realizando para el entendimiento específicamente solo en Smart Contract, ¿verdad? Esa es la primera pregunta. Netamente los conceptos de Smart Contract, y lo segundo es cómo se distribuye en la semana. Yo sé que está en el calendario, en la información enviada, pero dice el primer día y el último demostraciones martes, miércoles y jueves, otro tipo de dinámica. Entonces quisiera tenerlo más en específico para tenerlo claro.
Sí, bueno, primero, sí, el día de hoy es justamente entender qué es un Smart Contract, ¿no? O sea, hoy poca programación va a haber, ¿no? Pero eso no quiere decir que no lo puedan hacer, ¿no? O sea, la idea es que lean 3 Smart Contracts como mínimo para que entiendan, pues, cuáles son los flujos, ¿no? O sea, cómo se declaran las variables, cómo se estructura el contrato, ¿no? Cómo lo va a leer el contrato también, cómo se lee el contrato, para que justamente si tienen duda, ahí está en Discord, ¿no? Obviamente ahorita Cherif ya es un poco tarde para él, pero ahorita lo que también me comprometo yo es Cristian, Jorge, que ya pasaron por este bootcamp y que de hecho están colaborando directamente con Cherif. Les voy a pasar el link para que entren y también estamos en un grupo ahí, ¿no? Y ahí podamos interactuar todos, ¿no? Eso es lo primero, eso es lo del día de hoy. El día de hoy es leer contratos, entenderlos. Si tienen dudas, por favor, en el canal de Discord que se abrió. Obviamente le pueden hacer preguntas directamente a Cherif. Los invitaría a que lo hicieran en el canal abierto para que todo el mundo podamos aprender de las dudas, ¿no? Entonces, hoy es puro contrato. El día martes, miércoles y jueves, lo que se quiere hacer son espacios abiertos para hacer preguntas, ¿sí? O sea, oye, Cherif, no entendí esto. Oye, alguien tuvo problemas con esto. Puede ser previo a la llamada, ¿no? No es necesario. O sea, la llamada que tenemos con Cherif es para que le hagan las preguntas directamente a él, ¿no? Durante martes, miércoles y jueves, la idea es que sí empecemos ya a trabajar en los primeros, levantar el contrato, ¿no? Puede ser inclusive cualquiera de estos repos que están aquí abajo que está mostrando Cherif, bájenlo y córranlo, ¿no? O sea, eso sería como lo ideal para el día de hoy. Leo los contratos, vale, pues bueno, voy a tratar de correr ese contrato, ¿no? Creo que eso sería como el deliverable, el entregable para hoy, pero es para ustedes, ¿no? O sea, aquí no es nada para Cherif, es para ustedes mismos y si tienen dudas ahí, no pudieron deployar el contrato, tuvieron dudas con eso, entonces mañana, o como te digo, durante el día, nos escribimos en el canal, jalo a Jorge y a Cristian para que estén ahí pendientes, que son compañeros de Alan, y podamos ahí empezar a coordinarnos, ¿no?
Yo creo que, Claudio,
eso,
pues,
sí.
digo,
Dale.
reforzando lo que dices, ¿no? Hacerlo muy al estilo de cómo trabajan los desarrolladores. Hagamos todas las preguntas abiertas para que todos nos enteremos, porque a todos nos puede fallar en algún momento, no nos puede correr algo, ¿no? Entonces, digo, creo que bueno que esté aquí Sheriff con nosotros, pero sí, todo vaya público, vaya al Discord y ahí nos estemos resolviendo las dudas unos con otros, que seguramente para algunos hoy será el día difícil, ¿no? De hacer el setup y todo el montaje, creo que ahí podría ser lo más complicado para algunos que no tengan tanta experiencia en ese sentido. Ya para los que tienen un poco más de experiencia, creo que más bien para los días posteriores va a estar el reto, ¿no? En los smart contracts.
Exacto. So Sharif, yeah, so basically it's just questions around.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense what you're saying, but just a small correction. The whole week is actually just about smart contracts, not just today. Today is just about reading, but usually people take 2-3 days to get the reading. So there's no stress. This is more about your experience in this way, you know, like it's not like if you miss today in the reading, then everything tomorrow is different. We're spending the week today reading, writing, testing, deploying, and then making a demonstration. But, you know, only maybe some people will get to testing. Some people just, they skip it because it's too much. The reading and writing takes 2-3 days, maybe 4 days. So they don't do any testing. Okay, no problem. And then some people, they don't get to deploy on day 4. Okay, no problem. But for sure, you should try your best to demonstrate something on Friday. Everybody, every group should try and produce some demonstration of some kind. And you can see this in the Learn NEAR to get an idea of sort of what a demonstration can look like. You can see these different ones. And I can show you here some examples that are actually pretty cool. And then the second thing I think that I heard Alan say about like getting together in the Discord to troubleshoot some of the technical issues, I think makes perfect sense to start today. Get in groups, solve all the technical issues so that everybody has what you need. Starting off, especially Windows users. If I understood you correctly, Alan, if that's what you were saying. This makes sense that this is step number 1. So anybody that's comfortable with the technology for sure should help other people today so that you don't spend 2-3 days struggling on this stuff. So here, take a look. Here's one that was made by Christian and Jorge, actually, is that Jorge with us in the call?
No.
Okay.
That's another Jorge.
He could be his cousin.
Could be.
There's one, and here's one. Like, here's a demo. You can see lots of nice documentation, how you set it up, how you build it, how you use it, right? How it works. Here's the commands that you can use, right? I think you can see this, right? So a very nice presentation like this. And then at the very end, a link to design of the front end, but they didn't build the front end, just the design, just the picture to show us how it works. So this was also a nice kind of addition. They just kind of designed it a little bit and said, look, it would look like this. Okay, that's this one here. And this was built by Jorge and Christian, who are in the guild that Claudio is mentioning. And then this one, this art demo is really nice here. If you want to see how this works on your local machine, you can try this with me. I'm going to clone the repository, which means I copy this. If you know as a developer, it's obvious what it means, but I'm basically copying this URL, this location for the code. And then I'm going to open it. You can do this with any of the demos, by the way. I'm sorry, I've been working with computers for a long time and I get very frustrated when I have to wait for my machine. I don't know why. It's 2021. I shouldn't be waiting anymore for a computer. Come on. Like, when is the computer going to be faster than me? I don't know. So here I'm going into, I cloned it. Now I got it. I brought it down, the files, and I'm going to come in here. I'm going to run a little program to bring in what's called dependencies. Again, if you're not a programmer, it's just installing the other software that this one is using, because we're all the time building software on top of software. And then I'm going to run the test. And the test will go and, I don't know, run some software that loads some software that loads some software that runs the contract. And then you see the output from the contract on the screen here. This is what it does. It basically makes art. Oh, my timing is off. It's very beautiful, I think. So this is a project, a smart contract. When you say, hey, knock, knock, give me some art, it makes art for you. Every time it's different. And it produces a number. You can use this number to go and get this piece of art and buy it and put it in your own account, for example. It's kind of a cool idea. This was built by one person in the week that they were with us. So there's all sorts of nice projects. These are all student projects here. Okay. So just to give you an idea of what's there and what's possible and how easy it is to get it and run it. If you're familiar with Git and Node environment, what I just showed you is the most basic, like first 1 hour of any tutorial on JavaScript, basic stuff. If you're not familiar with it, don't worry about it. You can still participate in the way that I was suggesting earlier by reading the material and getting together with a team and discussing some of the ideas that are happening here, because there's a lot of material here. All right. So it's almost 5 minutes maybe till we're done. How should we come up with some groups, do you think? Does it make sense to get in groups, or how should we organize the groups? So the hard thing about the groups normally is everybody's in different time zones. This makes it a little bit challenging. And so, so I think today we can just make, maybe there's 15 people. We can just make maybe like 5 groups, like 3 people each group or something like that. Okay. So small group B. And I'm just adding them here, you can see, and then C.
Okay.
And then
yeah, and it would be good to open up a general one. I just spam a small group A.
and E, and then I'll just make a general.
Yeah, please.
And I'll put it
y sobre el general y lo que vayan a escribir puede ser en español, ¿eh? No se corten a escribir todo en inglés y todo esto, ¿no? Vamos a poner en español y así de cierta manera vamos
yeah, all of this
fluyendo,
you can go Spanish on all of these channels. None of it has to be in English at all. Okay, whatever language you feel like, actually. Any technology you feel like talking about, any language, spoken language, no problem. Okay, any questions? Anything in the end? Yeah, go ahead, please.
No, we have some, inside of us, we have some mates of us that are
your network's breaking up a little bit. I don't understand what you're saying. Your network's breaking up.
Yeah.
Alan,
can you repeat?
Take off your video. Take off your video because you're breaking up. There you
go. That's better?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah, sorry. We were working the last week in some framework. So I think are you here, Tony?
Tony, are you here?
Tony, are you here? Are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so what do you think if you came with Jose Canales and somebody else that is in the group, and I came with Angel and with somebody else, so that we can start doing some groups?
Yeah, I think that this is a great idea, Alan, and maybe we can just agree, like, maybe you could just jump into a group. There's 15 people, 5 groups. I can add more groups if you want. Just go into a group until there's 3 people and then move to the next group.
Okay.
So just, no problem. And this way we just get, groups, so we can make more groups if we want, but just start at the top A. If there's, 3 people in there, you can see how many people are in there from, people say hello or something in the channel. If there's 3 people, move to B and then C and then D, and then we will have all the groups filled up with 3 people. 4 is okay also, not a problem. I can even add another group just in case, so that we're not missing out. We have A, B, C, D, E, F. So 6 groups. That should be more than enough for 3 or 4 people per group. So just get in a group with people, introduce yourself, and then dive in. I would recommend the first thing that you do right away is you agree on how you will work. Like, what time are you available to work, to get together? What's your plan? Are you putting in like 1 hour at 9 in the morning? Everybody else in the team is putting in 1 hour at 9 at night. This is going to be very difficult to coordinate. So start there. How are you going to coordinate your work? What time are you working on this? How much time do you have? And maybe then your experience, you can just share this right away. Like, I'm a developer or I'm not. And then in your first conversation, you will know exactly who is there with you in the group. Okay. And then we have a bunch of voice channels. There's like 12 voice channels you can see under the voice channels. Just pick any, doesn't matter what your group letter is. It's a little bit confusing. Pick any letter for your voice channel and just meet in there with your group. Say, let's meet in group G voice channel or whatever. Maybe I should change those numbers or something. Okay, and then you can have a quick chat on Discord. All right, any questions? For sure, this is not going to be easy. It's like exercise. It may not even be fun. I'm just telling you now. But at the end of the week, if you do the work, it's going to feel amazing, because you're going to build software for blockchain like in a week. It's crazy. You can totally do it, but you have to really work at it though. It's not easy. It's like going to the gym. It's going to be tiring. You're going to breathe heavy. You're going to sweat. You're going to change your clothes a couple of times. But by the end of the week, it's going to be amazing. You're going to feel great. So just be a little bit patient with yourself and with your teammates. Ask lots of questions. It's optional to come Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as Claudio said earlier. Those are optional days. You don't have to come, but if you want, I'll just be here answering questions. Maybe someone else from the group will also answer questions. Maybe you'll hear other questions that will make you think of other things that you haven't thought of. And then Friday, please be here same time exactly, because we have demos. And if you need me for some reason, you can always tag me in this channel, or you can DM me. Claudio also has an open channel with me. You can ping him. Okay, any last minute questions? Anything else we want to cover? Okay, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to see what happens this week. Have fun. Don't slow down.
Gracias a todos. Váyanse subiendo ahí a los canales. Daniel, yo creo que a Susana y Alfonso, que ustedes que están en España, si quieren, pues yo creo que les va a ser más fácil, ¿no? Coordinarse ahí. Pero de todos modos, si quieren sacarle ventaja a que los españoles van a estar trabajando de noche, ¿no? O de día, dependiendo. Y de este lado pueden hacer ahí buena mancuerna, ¿no? Pero bueno, ahí los dejamos para que se vayan coordinando. Y sobre todo, manden un mensaje ahí por Discord si tienen algo se les atora. Si no, por Telegram también, ahí estoy. Y nada, muchas gracias por su interés en participar en este bootcamp. Y nada, mucha suerte, ¿no? Entonces nos vemos mañana a la misma hora. Y estamos ahí por los canales ya conocidos, ¿vale? Muchas gracias por todo. Pasen buena tarde. Allá por España, buen día por acá. Chao.
Okay.
Thank you, Sharif.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah,
That's great, Sheriff. Thank you.
thank you. Good luck.
Thanks. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Have fun.
Very much.
See you.